Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to part 2 of the world mapping series. So, guys, we had discussed the locations which have been frequented into the Hindu newspaper. Guys, here we are taking the mapping from last June, that is June 2019, and it will be taken up to March 2020. Friends, if you have not seen the part 1, the link is in description. You can see the part 1. And now let's begin with the part 2. So, guys, the first location is Porto Williams, which is in Chile. Now, guys, why this is in news? Because the Porto Williams have been given the title of world's southernmost city. Earlier, the title was claimed by Ushuaia, which is in Argentina. So, guys, when you will be going into the western Uttar Pradesh, on every highway you will be finding a Shiva Dhaba, and every dhaba claims itself to be the real Shiva Dhaba. So, in the same way, there are three cities which claim themselves to be the real southernmost city. So in that way, there are right now three places which all of them are claiming them to be the southernmost place. Now this title or this tag is claimed in order to attract the tourism. So friends, three cities which claim themselves to be the southernmost are the Ushuaia of Argentina, Punta Arenas, and Porto Williams. Now Punta Arena as well as Porto Williams are both in Chile. Guys, if we see by the latitude, then Porto Williams happens to be exactly the southernmost, but the Ushuaia claims that it is not qualified to be called a city, rather, it should be qualified as a town. Moreover, if we go further south to the Porto Williams, it doesn't mean that there are no locations or no settlements. There are settlements even to the south of Porto Williams, but they are not big enough, so therefore they are not included here. Now, guys, some more information about Chile. Chile is located into the western part of the South America, and its capital is Santiago. Now, Atacama Desert, one of the driest desert into the world, is located into the Chile. Moreover, guys, the Porto Williams, which is the part of Chile, is the major entry point to the continent of Antarctica. Now, guys, this is the map. We can see, first of all, there will be the Argentina, then there will be Chile. Now, this particular region is important because this is the Magellan Straits, and after the Magellan Straits, this particular portion is called as Tierra del Fuego. Now, friends, this entire portion, that is Tierra del Fuego, is divided in two parts. This green portion is belonging to Chile, and this yellow portion is belonging to Argentina. So now you can see that here it is Ushuaia, which is into Tierra del Fuego, but which is the part of Argentina. Now this one is Porto Williams, which has now claimed the crown of Southern. Into the most extreme, we you can see the Cape Horn. Now, guys, just keep in your mind that the first is Magellan Strait. After Magellan Strait, this entire portion is called as Tierra del Fuego. Tierra del Fuego is divided in two parts. One is for Chile and other is for Argentina. Both the southern cities are into the Tierra del Fuego. Tierra del Fuego is an example of archipelago. Archipelago is a group of islands. So here you can see a large number of items are here. Now, first is Magellan, then there is Beagle Channel here, and after Beagle Channel, there will be the Drake Passage you can see here. So, guys, just remember from north to south, first of all, there will be Magellan Strait, after that, there will be Beagle Channel, and then there will be Drake Passage. Guys, the next location is Gulf of Aden. So why it was in news? Because Indian Navy is undertaking piracy mission, and P8I, Poseidon 8I, which is a surveillance aircraft and has long range anti submarine warfare capabilities, is making sure that piracy is not being undertaken here, guys. Now, friends, this is Gulf of Aden, and nearby countries we can see. First of all, it is Yemen. Then there is Socotra, which is again the part of Yemen. Then there is Arabian Sea. Then there is Somalia. Okay, and there is Djibouti. Now, after Djibouti, I told you that there often is a strait which connects two bigger water bodies. So here we can see the Strait of Babel Mandab. Now, first of all, there will be Red Sea, then there will be Babel Mandab, and then there will be Gulf of Aden. Moreover, guys, if we talk about the neighboring regions, then there will be first, that is Yemen, then there will be Arabian Sea into the east, then there is Socotra, which is again the part of Yemen only. Then here it is Somalia and Djibouti. So, guys, this Somalia is notorious for pirates, and because of the Somalia only, anti-piracy activity is going on in this entire region. Moreover, guys, also remember the Gaddafi channel. So Gaddafi channel is actually between the Socotra island, which belongs to the Yemen, and Somalia. I hope it is clear. When you talk about Gulf of Aden, I don't think it is too much difficult because there are only three countries: Yemen, Somalia, and Djibouti. Now, this entire region is also called as Horn of Africa, which surrounds Gulf of Aden. So now we will also see what is Horn of Africa. Friends, in Horn of Africa, there are four countries. First is Eritrea, second is Djibouti, then there is Somalia and Ethiopia. Now, how we can remember the countries in Horn of Africa? Guys, just remember that in Africa there is summers. Fine. So, we'll remember every day is summer in Ethiopia. You just need to remember one country. Every day is summer in Ethiopia. So, Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, and Ethiopia. So, guys, this all about this region. Now we'll go to the next location. Now, guys, next is Bahrain. So, why Bahrain was in news? Because for the first time, Indian Prime Minister has visited Bahrain. Now, guys, first of all, Bahrain is a archipelago. That means it is a group of island. So, guys, they are both type of island, natural as well as artificial island has been made. Now, guys, when Prime Minister went to Bahrain, he initiated a redevelopment project of oldest Srinathji temple into the Gulf region. So, for this particular thing, a grant was also given. Now, friends, there is one good news that Bahrain does not has land boundary with any country, so it will be easier for us. Now, guys, in the big map, it might looks that Bahrain is making a land boundary, but it is not the case. Now, friends, into the north of Bahrain, there is Persian Gulf, and into the south, there is Gulf of Bahrain. So, on the both the sides, there are two gulfs. Now, guys, if I show you the holistic picture, then we can see certain locations. Please recall the video number 1. So, first, what is this? This is Persian Gulf. Then, what is this? This is a state of Hormuz. We had seen all these things into the first video. This particular is Gulf of Oman. Okay, guys, and now if we see the neighbors of all this region is, first is Kuwait, then there is Iraq, then there is Iran, then there is Oman, then there is UAE, and then there is Qatar, and then there is Bahrain. I also gave you a trick as how you can remember the neighbors here. So I told you that you need to remember as Kamal Nath insist IOU quick bashing. You know the story. Fine. Moreover, guys, if we come little bit this side, then you can see that here is the Horn of Africa. Then here is Gulf of Aden. Here is Babel Mandeb, and here it is Red Sea. So this entire picture should be clear into your mind, guys. Guys, next is RCEP, that is Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. Why it was in news? Because for long India was exploring the entry in RCEP, but now India has decided that it will be coming out and will not be longer the member of RCEP. Why India had done this thing? Because it is a kind of a bilateral agreement due to which the countries will reduce the tariff, and India's manufacturing being not that much competitive will be exposed to the Chinese manufacturers, due to which the indigenous manufacturers might be facing a problem. Moreover, guys, India is already having a huge deficit with the RCEP members, and this will be increasing even further as the tariff and protections will come down. Now, guys, RCEP had earlier 16 members, but now India is out, so it had 15 members. It has 10 members of ASEAN and 5 members who happens to be free trade agreement partners of ASEAN. They are there. So in total, there are 15 countries. Now, guys, earlier there were 16 countries, but now India is not there. So there are 15 countries. How we can remember this? Because every year questions are coming on these groupings, and this year could be important as India had left. So we'll remember this by a mnemonic. So guys, remember a thing that in Asia, Chinese, Japanese and Koreans, they are the most intelligent. Why? Because they are educated, and when a person is educated, he becomes important, he becomes a VIP. Fine. So please remember a story here. So it is after MBA and MSc, Chinese, Japanese and Koreans became VIP and left towards New Zealand. Okay. After MBA and MSc, Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans became VIP and left towards New Zealand. So M stands for Malaysia, B stands for Brunei, A stands for Australia. The next M stands for Myanmar, S stands for Singapore, C stands for Cambodia. This C stands for Chinese, Japanese, Koreans. V stands for Vietnam. I stands for Indonesia. P stands for Philippines, L stands for Laos, T stands for Thailand, and N stands for New Zealand. Guys, remember this area, keep this area into your mind, and I believe that if these mnemonics are there into your mind, if a question comes into the prelims, you will be able to eliminate the wrong answer. Guys, one extra information, as I told you that RCEP is a organization where there are 15 members now, earlier 16. It had 10 members of ASEAN and 5 members which are FTA. In total, we had seen how to remember these 15 countries. But what about the ASEAN countries? So for them also, I would like to give you a trick. Guys, though all the mnemonics that I have given you earlier were made by me, but this is not made by me. I had seen this from somewhere. So this mnemonic goes like this: MBBS privately by LIC. Guys, here M stands for Malaysia, B stands for Brunei, the second B stands for Burma, then S stands for Singapore, P stands for Philippines, V stands for Vietnam, T stands for Thailand, L stands for Laos, I stands for Indonesia, and C stands for Cambodia. So it is MBBS privately by LIC. Guys, next in the news was Tiananmen Square. So this is in Beijing in China. Why it was in news? Because on the 4th June 2019 there was a 30th anniversary of Tiananmen Square protest. So guys, what happened on 4 June 1989 is that there were certain people who were protesting here for the death of their leader Hu Yaobang, who was also protesting for the reforms into the China. But they were attacked, and this particular incident is also called as June 4th incident as well as 89 democracy movement. Moreover, guys, apart from this, in Beijing, before 100 years also in 1919, there was one more protest which was held. So, in 2019, there was 100th anniversary of 4 May 1919 movement, and it was 30th anniversary of 89 democracy movement. So, please remember it, important for UPSC. So guys, here if we see China, then you can see Beijing. There is Wuhan where the recent COVID-19 started, and then here it is Hong Kong. So if we see from north to south, first Beijing, then Wuhan, and then Hong Kong. Guys, moreover, as we spoke of Hong Kong, Hong Kong was also into the news. So next item is Hong Kong. So what happened in Hong Kong in 2019? Recently, China announced that they are extending their extradition law into the Hong Kong. Now, the people of Hong Kong, they assumed that by this way China is trying to kill the intellectual class of Hong Kong, and by using this extradition policy people will be sent to China where they will be tortured. So therefore in Hong Kong a movement was started. Guys, this particular movement was organized on the lines of umbrella movement of 2014, when the people asked for the reforms. So on that electoral reforms, so on that line in 2019 also the movement started, though China government said that we are rolling back the extradition law, but still the protests continued. Guys, Hong Kong is a part under the China, but China follows two systems where there are different kind of rules for the entire China, but for the Hong Kong there is much more autonomy is given till 2047. This one country two system will follow. After that it has to be seen that what will be done. So guys, in 1997 Britishers left the Hong Kong and gave it to China. Since then it is autonomously ruled under the China. Now, guys, as we are talking about Hong Kong, please remember two things in Hong Kong. First of all, Hong Kong lies at South China Sea, not at East China Sea. Secondly, the Hong Kong is formed on the Pearl River Delta. And guys, one more thing with respect to Pearl River Delta, it is called as a delta, but actually it is an estuary. So Pearl River is making an estuary here on which the harbor of Hong Kong is based. Guys, the next location in news was Taiwan. So why Taiwan is in news? Because Taiwan became the first country in Asia to allow the same-sex marriages. Guys, though in India section 377 has been decriminalized, but there is no clarity with respect to same-sex marriages, so we don't have law. Taiwan had clearly made a law here. So guys, when we see Taiwan, so what are the neighboring countries of Taiwan? You can see that here is Taiwan, there is a China, there is South Korea, there is a Japan, there is Philippines. Okay, so these are the immediate neighboring countries. You can remember this by a mnemonic, that is cheese jalapeno pizza. Okay, so J is silent here, so it is pronounced jalapeno. Cheese jalapeno pizza. Cheese stands for China and South Korea. Jalapeno stands for Japan. J stands for Japan. And pizza, P stands for Philippines. So cheese jalapeno pizza. Guys, the next location is Iceland. And Iceland was in the news because Vatnajökull National Park, which happens to be in Iceland, has been inscribed into the World Heritage Site. Now, guys, in Iceland, after the Vatnajökull National Park, there are three World Heritage Sites. One is Vatnajökull, other is Thingvellir National Park, and the third is volcanic island of Surtsey. And guys, in this Thingvellir National Park, the oldest parliament building is also housed. Though with respect to parliament, some other claims have also been there. Guys, Vatnajökull is also important because it this national park is based on the glacier, and the name of glacier is also Vatnajökull, and it is the largest glacier outside the Arctic, and the expanse is very big. Now, when we talk about Iceland, guys, moreover, Iceland is a very interesting land where the volcano as well as ice are both found together. So, due to unstable geomorphology, huge volcanic activity is there. Moreover, guys, though Iceland is higher up into the latitudes, but the temperature is not that much cold because of the passing of Gulf Stream for here from here, which is a warm water current. And guys, the human indicators are also very good, and it ranks first on the global peace index also. Now, when we see the map, here it is Iceland, and in the Iceland, this is the Vatnajökull National Park. And guys, one more fact, it is the second largest national park of Europe, and the first one is in Russia. Guys, as we are talking about Iceland, one very important organization is there into this region which happens to be important, and that is Arctic Council. Now, guys, on Arctic Council also the question has been asked in UPSC. First of all, Arctic Council is the organization which has the member which lie partly or completely into the Arctic Circle. It works for the issues which are plaguing to these countries, and it has 8 member countries. They are Russia, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Denmark, Canada, and United States. So clockwise, the countries have been arranged here. Guys, these 8 countries we can remember by a mnemonic. The mnemonic goes like this: Russia friends Sweden and ignores Canada and US. So, as we know that Russia is not having good relations with the Western countries, so we will say that Russia is friend with Sweden and ignores Canada and US. So guys, here we will be winding up this session, and in the next video which I will be releasing on 9th of April, we will be carrying the map entries after this particular phase. Guys, if you like our video, then please do subscribe to our channel and please share our video. Thank you so much.